Hey everybody, it's Dan Sparrow, www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. This is where we discuss clinical trials in plain English. Whether you're a study participant, someone interested in learning more about the industry, whether you want to be a study participant, and this is a place where you kind of came to check out to see what we have to offer in terms of information, you've come to the right place. And also industry professionals. If you work in the industry, if you're a study coordinator, if you just got hired as a study coordinator and want to learn a little bit more about research, you've also come to the right place. And then if you're a study doctor or a physician looking to get involved in clinical trials and just want to learn a little more about it, you've also come to the right place. So this is where we discuss clinical trials in plain English. Myself and Don, we've worked in this industry. I've worked in this industry for 6 years now. Don has worked in this industry for over 10. So we know what we're talking about, and we're trying to stay on top of things for you and just kind of shed some light on this industry that is otherwise not really talked about too much. And if people ever really do talk about clinical trials, it's usually in a negative way, and a lot of the stuff you may see on TV are just ads. So you're not really getting anything necessarily authentic, and we're hoping to do a little bit of that, and hopefully add some transparency and shed some light on this industry. But anyways, today's post is aimed at study participants or people thinking about joining a clinical trial for the first time, or maybe second or third time or fourth, who knows. But four things that you probably should do before signing up for the study. Number one, chances are you were referred to that clinic by someone, whether it was a friend or a doctor or some kind of recruiter or marketer, whomever it was. Know who sent you. Who is that person? What do they do? How do they get paid? How do they make their living? What is their livelihood? Chances are, if they have some kind of motivation for getting you to join the trial, they're going to try to sweeten things up and tell you things that may be not necessarily false, but maybe a little misleading in terms of highlighting just the benefits and downplaying the risks. So you really got to pay attention to who referred you, who they are, what they do, how they get paid, how they're involved with the research facility or the study. Even if that someone who referred you is your doctor, you've got to kind of dig a little deeper and see if there's a potential conflict of interest there. I just read an article on kevinmd.com about a study doctor who was put in a position where he had a real conflict of interest, and he ended up referring someone to a clinical trial, and he was selling him on the benefits of that study. And he said, yeah, you need to sign up for this trial because it's going to be a really good study, and if you don't do it right now, we can't guarantee you're going to get a spot in the study because it's a very popular trial. And it turned out that the study was actually having a hard time enrolling people. So the doctor was misleading the patient. It turns out everything was okay in terms of what happened to that patient, but you can see how something like this can go wrong. So just be very careful, even if it's your doctor. You gotta know, is there potential conflict of interest there? Number two, you've got to ask yourself what you want to get out of the study. And we've done posts on this before, but what are your expectations for joining the study? Are you not happy with your current medical treatments? Are you tired of dealing with your current medical treatment and just looking for something new? Or perhaps you just want to give back and hopefully be able to help future people, future sufferers of your condition or disorder. And in that case, you're doing it for the right reasons. Or maybe you just want money, which there's nothing wrong with that either, as I've said before. Or perhaps 99% of people will fall into this category, a combination of all of the previously mentioned reasons. So just know what you want to get out of the study. Don't expect to be cured of your condition. Don't expect to make a bunch of money and not have to really do any work. Because clinical trials are pretty much, definitely ask a lot from the study participants. So don't think it's an easy way to make money. And don't think that you're going to automatically be cured. At the end of the day, it's not a treatment, it's an experiment. And they're there to collect data. That's why we do clinical trials. So number one, know who referred you. Number two, what do you want to get out of the study? Number three, get a second opinion. And this is kind of closely related to number one. You want to kind of ask someone you trust. If, whether it's your study doctor, your family, get another opinion from another doctor who you know has no affiliation at all with clinical trials. See what they say. And just because they tell you no doesn't mean it's not necessarily a good idea. You're just getting someone else's opinion. Finally, the fourth thing you should do is on the day that you show up, make sure you understand the informed consent, make sure you have all your questions answered, make sure that you're given enough time to ask questions and you're not rushed. It's very important not to feel pressured or not to feel rushed when you're about to sign up for a study. Feel free to bring a support group with you, whether that's your family, loved ones, friends, someone you trust, whether it could be a caregiver, anyone. Just whatever will let you feel more comfortable and more relaxed and put you in a position of power to where you can ask questions and not feel like you're bothering the research staff or anything. So, number one, make sure that you know who the person is who's referring you, and not necessarily, you don't have to know who they are, but know what they do and how they make their money and how they earn a living. Could there be a potential conflict of interest there? Number two, you should find out whether your expectations match with those of the study, because if they don't, you won't have a good experience. And number three, get a second opinion. Number four, make sure that you ask all the questions that you have and more when you sign the informed consent form on the day of your screening visit. And feel free to bring your family and whoever else you want to bring with you. And if you follow these four things, you should at least have a pretty good idea of what you're getting into, and you should have done your homework. And even if you didn't, you can always withdraw for any reason. But hopefully, if you follow these four steps that I outlined, you'll have a good experience, and maybe you'll at least know what you got yourself into before you go ahead and do it. So I'd love to hear from all of you. Let me know if you have any other suggestions for people who may be interested in joining a clinical trial. www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you very much.